Welcome to the Business Blast podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. This episode is brought to you by Authors Unite. Authors Unite makes the process of becoming a published, best-selling author as simple as sipping your morning cup of coffee. You can learn more about Authors Unite at authorsunite.com. Now, let's jump into the episode. All right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Business Blast podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. Today, I have Brandon Dietrich with us. He is an innovative marketer, entrepreneur, husband, and foster father who most recently founded Social Assurance Media, a company that helps businesses use online marketing to convert shoppers to buyers. So welcome to the show, man.
Thanks so much, man. Pleasure to be here.
Of course. Pleasure to have you here. We'll jump into the first one, Brandon. The first question I have for you is, what is the best story from your life that has an underlying valuable message?
So probably the biggest thing is that, your name and your reputation goes with you no matter where. So to always do the right thing, story-wise, we used to have a small property management company that we built during high school and college. And, you always have sort of your regular customers as people that you really want to, do right by, even if, it's very tempting sometimes to, just go chase the money or go chase the other opportunities. Point being, always stand by the people that, you make a commitment to. And, typically it has a way of working out always for the best.
And what is the most valuable piece of information we should know that's within your expertise or industry?
My view is always quality over quantity. You'll see a ton of people, trying to do everything under the sun. However, they do everything mediocrely. I'd always say, in the digital advertising realm, do less better. It's kind of the mantra that we like to live by.
And what is your best piece of overall business advice? It might tie in, but just not necessarily like industry specific.
Probably if it is business-wise, to always spend time where your actual customers are at, not where they expect you to be. So I like to use the analogy of a trade show a lot. Sometimes people will be going there expecting, to always have your customers, searching to buy from you there. That is a possibility. However, we like to go to those kind of networking groups where everybody who would be our ideal clientele is already at, not necessarily expecting to be sold or anything. However, the point being just building that relationship, so going where your customers are at.
And if you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that be?
Patience, man. So patience. The fact that, I never expected I would be where I'm at, 10 years ago or even 5 years ago. And really just being open to it all work out in time. And, you can't necessarily make those plans so far out and always expect it to hit, perfectly.
And in your opinion, what is the key to happiness?
Purposeful existence is bar none for me. So to have a reason for doing what you're doing, have a reason for being able to impact and help a lot of people along the way.
And what is the best book that you've read, and what was the number one thing you learned from that?
The 4-Hour Workweek was one of those ones I can definitely take bits and pieces from and apply to my life. The number one lesson that I'd say I pulled from there is to be good, basically be good at what you're good at and focus in on what you're good at, and everything else, find another way to have somebody else accomplish that for you. Typically, they're better at it than you, and it allows you the time flexibility to focus in on what is, most beneficial that you yourself can achieve.
Dude, that is actually like my favorite book. That book was pretty much the reason I decided to drop out of school and start my own company. So that book had a little bit of an impact on me. I love that one.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, it's so cool to see, people in sort of our space, who realize that there's other options out there, not just the standard 40-40-40 plan.
Yeah, it was like a full awakening. Like it was just like it gave me the realization that I didn't need, and this is just for me, but I was like, I don't need a diploma to get to where I want to be. And it kind of because it showed me all the different options that I had. I should actually probably reread it. It's been like 5 or 6 years. But that's what it did. Just opened my mind to all of the opportunity and possibilities and the way to create systems and run your own company. And I was like, all right, I think I can do this now. Let's go. This is my manual. So it's awesome. And yeah, the next one I have for you is, what is your favorite quote and why?
I believe it was Calvin Coolidge said one about persistence, and how persistence alone is what sort of separates you from anybody else. It's not the talent, it's not the education or anything along those lines. It's just being persistent time and time and time again, and over time, that is a compounding effect that adds up and works for your benefit.
Love it, man. Thank you so much for coming on. The last question I have for you before we let you go is, where's the best place for people to find you online?
So we are actually doing a rebranding at the moment, coming out of some corporate and pharmaceutical industry. So we are going through a complete overhaul. So right now, BrandonDietrich.com, BRANDON, Dietrich spelled dietrich.com, is the best place to connect with me at, and definitely be looking for some new things, new web redesign, stuff like that coming down the pike.
Perfect, man. Thanks again for joining us.
Thank you.
The podcast you just heard was published with Anchor. Got something you want to say to the creator of this show? Send them a voice message using the Anchor app, free for iOS and Android.